already.
So he finally splits him from stem to stern.
Yeah.
But lightly.
More or less. Lightly from stem to stern.
Lightly from stem to stern.
Yeah.
Just enough to knock him on his ass.
Yeah, enough to end the fight. Yeah, he gave him just the tip.
Just the tip.
This is the first time Brendan was ever nice and just gave him the tip.
Yeah.
Warning, the following show will spoil the hell out of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire books and the TV show A Game of Thrones. Also, you're probably going to find a fuck ton of bad language. The explicit tag is there for a reason.
Death and boobies, 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 death and boobies.
Hello and welcome back to the Ironwood Network Book Club. I'm your host, Lady Wyvern, and with me today is Maester Ironwood and Widow Wolfsbane. How are you guys today?
We're doing pretty great.
Shocked.
Yeah. I was going to do it. I was waiting for
We have recorded 2 episodes today. Now, they are separated by an episode we recorded Thursday. However, Lady Wyvern took it upon herself to introduce both episodes.
Neither one of you were talking, so I just jumped right in.
To be fair, she was talking, just nothing related to the podcast.
I know, that's why I jumped in and I did it, so we could get this shit rolling.
Well, I was like, I'm going to do it. And then I was waiting for the pause to have, like, the space so he could find the cut, and then you just, bam.
I'm pretty sure he got the cut.
We'll see.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that works.
We'll see. Well, I'll find it.
He'll find it. And then he'll put a big flag on it.
No, I'll just cut out everything before it.
Don't do that to our After Dark people. I don't know why they want to
It
listen
wouldn't be
to
for
it.
the After Dark, it's for the main character.
I don't... It doesn't matter for that one. I just don't cut anything. I just shorten the pauses and lower the volume and send it out.
Oh, alright. There you go.
Yeah.
There you guys go. That's how he does your extra, the money you pay extra to listen to.
Yes, he did say that.
It says it's uncut, so I'm not going to cut it.
That's fair. You cut out the pauses, but that's fine, because that just takes out
Well,
space.
you really don't want them sitting for 20 minutes while we're taking a smoke break and reading our book and whatever.
That would be kind of rude.
Very rude. So, we're here to discuss Catelyn 7.
Yep.
Catelyn 7.
Catelyn 7, a Catelyn chapter that I actually enjoyed.
That's because it's not all about Catelyn.
Exactly.
It's basically not about Catelyn at all.
Right.
Yeah, it's actually, basically, it's got Catelyn's name on it, and it's from her perspective, but it's about Bronn and Tyrion.
Oh, there's some negative statements in there that are definitely Catelyn, but
Yeah.
it's a fight scene, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's a battle.
But I was like, the negative things mostly seem to be about Lysa, so it's fine.
Well, no, she talks shit about Bronn being a sellsword, but you know.
Oh, that's true too. That's just because she hates people who aren't fucking nobles. And she doesn't like anyone who's below the aristocrat.
She's a pure blood.
The aristocracy.
Thank you. Aristocracy.
She's a pure blood.
She's a pure blood.
She's a Malfoy.
Listen, all I know is that after these last...
Yeah.
Catelyn Tully Malfoy.
Catelyn, I like that. Catelyn Tully Malfoy. I think that after this chapter, though, and the last Catelyn chapter, I'm just at the point where, like, Lysa's not allowed to be in my club anymore. Like, I am kicking her the fuck out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's not allowed in my club.
But you're the only 2 widows by choice.
Yeah, I don't like her, though. I'm the president of the club, so I can kick her out.
I'm pretty sure there are other widows by choice.
Well,
a lot of them are just in jail for murder.
Well, and soon enough, Catelyn will be a widow by choice, so...
That's true, too. Catelyn can join my club. And then I can pick on her. To her face.
Yeah, but you better get Lysa out before Catelyn gets in, or else they're going to, like, outvote you on things.
That's why Lysa's out now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not allowed in my sandbox.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
I'm taking my balls and going home.
Yep. That's what I'm doing.
Alright, so... before we get started, I want to thank our patrons.
Thank you, patrons.
All of our cool patrons.
Our awesome patrons.
All 4 of you.
Whatever. All of our cool patrons. Our patrons are awesome. Doesn't matter how many there are. They're
That's
awesome.
true.
They're a little crazy.
They're a little crazy because I know for a fact that at least 2 of them listen to the uncut versions of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of which has encouraged the other to listen to the uncut version of the show.
I can't say anything because I have listened to the uncut versions.
Which is, and to be fair, I have no choice but to listen to the uncut versions while cutting them.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm pretty sure he hears them in his sleep at this point.
Yeah, scary thought, but
he
true.
He just hears my voice saying horrible and obnoxous things.
And a shiver goes down his spine.
And I wake up in a cold sweat. Like, oh my god. Thank God it's not real. It's not real.
You're like, oh, Sir Mouthy, it's okay. He's not here right now.
And then me and Sir Mouthy go and hide behind the bathroom door together in the middle of the night.
Sitting there, and then you're like, Hodor, she's coming, Hodor,
Clodor.
Oh my goodness.
But if you want to be cool like our patrons and listen to the uncut version of the show, it only costs $1 a month over at patreon.com/ironwood. And you get early access to all of the regular episodes, which is what we recommend you listen to.
Yes, highly recommend.
You also get, as we said, the uncut version of the show, which literally means uncut, which means all of the random nonsense that Widow Wolfsbane talks about, it's all left in there.
Yeah.
So, like, if the episode's like an hour and 10 minutes long, the uncut version's like 2 hours of just pure nonsense.
Yes.
I love how we give her, like, all the shit for the uncut, when I'm pretty sure she and I are pretty bad, but some of it's yours, too.
Yeah, some of it's yours occasionally.
Not much.
I'd have to say, though, it's yours maybe once every 3 episodes or so.
Depends if it's like a Sansa episode or a Catelyn episode.
But Widow still gets about 70%.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Since 4th grade.
Yeah, if you guys think she talks a lot on the cut versions of the show, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's after I've done cut out 90% of what she said.
Listen, I'm just saying, if you love the sound of my voice almost as much as I do, you should listen to the uncut episodes.
maybe she should do ASMR.
Oh, God. That'd be so creepy.
I
don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do a video and know that someone's going to do something like that.
Anyone can make a video and upload it to Pornhub.
That's true.
I didn't think about that. Maybe I should try it and see what happens.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, Lord.
And then they'll be like, oh, we're doing the next 50 Shades movie. Do you want to do the voice track for it?
I'll have to approve it before you post it.
Okay. You can do that.
Okay.
I will give you that.
Also, if you want to catch us on the Twitters.
Yep.
I am at Maester Ironwood.
I am at Widow Wolfsbane.
And I am at Lady_Wyvern.
I like how I make you go last because you've got the underscore in there.
I know.
Weirdo.
That's because they like listening to you guys more than they like listening to me.
I don't know. I feel like they probably like listening to you a lot too, especially when you tell me to shut the fuck up.
I'm just a nagging nanny.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's just as satisfactory to them to hear you say "shut up" to me as it would be if they could say it.
Fair.
That's probably true.
Fair.
Yeah.
They're probably like, "Thank you,
thank you for shutting your ass up about that." God damn.
It's about time somebody said it.
Yeah. You can find us anywhere with the hashtag #IceandFirePod.
Yep.
Or at our website, iceandfirepod.com.
Indeed.
Which, as Ben pointed out, he has no idea how we were able to score such a sweet fucking URL.
Yeah.
Just lucky, I guess.
We are lucky. We're lucky that
we came late to the game as far as podcasts go. All right, so Catelyn 7.
Yep.
Good times. Who wants to do a synopsis?
All right, not with this one.
Of the Catelyn.
I can tell you right now, if I try a synopsis of this chapter, it's going to go a long time.
Yeah, probably.
Hold on, my bookmark's in the wrong
One
chapter.
a day, union rules.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm on union rules.
You follow rules?
When they're mine.
Union rules aren't yours.
Yeah, they're union.
Are we the union? Because I make the rules here occasionally.
No, you don't.
There's one
I've tried.
rule here.
You may think you do.
I've made a rule that you've approved.
Fair.
See?
But it required approval.
And how long
So
did
I
it
still
last?
made
It
it.
lasted like 2 weeks.
I don't think it lasted that long.
Anyway, synopsis. Who wants to synopsize?
I was going to have you do it.
You're going to have me synopsize
I was going to have
Catelyn?
you synopsize Catelyn.
All right, so Catelyn awakens on the morning of the big trial by combat. Unsure that this is the correct course of action, because apparently she just wanted to capture Tyrion.
Sorry. Catelyn just had the first correct observation of herself that it might not be the right course of action.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not the first time she's thought it, guys. She's thought it dozens of times on the way to the Vale.
Right.
That's true.
And probably dozen times since.
But that doesn't mean that her other thought is the actual correct action, because she just wants to, hold Tyrion for no reason forever and not give him the opportunity to win his freedom.
Well, no, because in the chapter when they first got... I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut off your synopsis. Go ahead. We can argue afterwards.
Okay. So she heads on over to Lysa's room, where Lysa is being entertained, quote-unquote entertained, by several gentlemen callers.
She's having an orgy.
I don't know if they're having an orgy, but there's like grapes and stuff involved and weird flirtatiousness and whatever.
My concept of entertained at this point is just that she's watching them be idiots.
Yeah, she found bigger idiots than herself and Catelyn, so she's watching them. And so Catelyn says, hey, we need to fucking talk because this is bullshit and really shouldn't happen. And Lysa's like, yeah, whatever, fine, sure. So they talk. And we still end up with a trial by combat anyway, because we're not going to put a stop to that.
Nope.
And so we get a trial by combat, which we miss a good chunk of because Catelyn has to think about when Brandon almost killed Littlefinger for a good 10 pages of the chapter.
That was weird.
Well, because it was the last trial by combat she had seen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but it's not relevant.
And she hadn't thought about it.
I mean, it's relevant, but...
Yeah.
Right. But
and she hadn't thought about it in the last 14 years.
So we miss a good chunk of the fight due to between Bronn and Sir Vardys, because we have to listen to the fight between Brandon and Littlefinger, which apparently wasn't much of a fight from the way it was described.
No.
And so when we do get to the fight between Bronn and Sir Vardys, Bronn is dancing around like a jackass, Muhammad Ali style, like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yep. All the people around are screaming that he's a craven and a coward and that he should fight. And Sir Roderick's going to Catelyn. Nope, he's wearing the guy out. The guy's wearing full armor and Bronn's not. And Sir Vardys is going to tire himself out and get himself killed.
Yes.
Which is exactly what happens.
Yep.
Indeed.
And so Bronn is able to take Sir Vardys down with the help of a big statue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he cheated.
It's not cheating.
Alyssa wanted nothing to do with this.
Alyssa has decided to jump in on Tyrion's side in this fight.
Yes.
The gods have spoken.
To which Bronn drives his sword right into the armpit of Sir Vardys and kills him.
Doesn't he have like a metal accordion style things keeping his armpits? So he's got extra jams in there from the metal from his arm.
So he just drives right through that shit.
Which is just a little bit better than what happened in the show, because the show he like makes him kneel down and then like goes in through the top of his armor and goes down to his back.
See, I was thinking for some reason I thought he like went through his visor.
Nope.
That was a different. I think that's a different death in series altogether that went through the visor.
But anyway, and then so Lysa, for some reason, for a second, thinks that she's gonna still hang on to Tyrion because little Robert Arryn goes, "Oh, can I make him fly now?" And Tyrion's like, "Nope, this dwarf is going down on a turnip cart."
Yeah.
Yep.
And Lysa goes, "You presume." As you have to say, you presume that you are now free to leave or something. What do you think you are?
That's the law.
And so Tyrion's like, I presume that House Arryn still follows its own words as high as honor. And that, yes, having been proved innocent, I am free to leave. To which Lysa says, fine, fucking take him to the gate, send him out onto the high road with provisions to make it all the way.
And Bronn.
Yep, to make it, and his creature.
Yep.
Yeah.
With provisions to make it all the way to the Trident, knowing full well as Catelyn realizes that that's another death sentence.
Yeah.
By making them take the high road together through the mountains.
Well, what other road would they take?
That's the problem, right?
If she sent them the other way to the coast...
Right, where they can take a boat.
They can take a boat down to King's Landing and be safe, but...
Yeah.
She's taking him and throwing him out the front gate, so that way they can't get to the coast.
Yeah.
Because that's what... Catelyn and Roderick were going to do at the end of the last chapter, is that they were going to take
that's what they end up doing.
Yeah, and they're just going to take a thing, and Roderick's like, God, another boat.
That's how Ned got to the north before the war.
Well, would you rather take a boat, or would he rather take the high road?
Well, she said that to him. She goes, well, would you rather take the high road again? We barely survived last time. And he's like, I guess you're kind of right.
He's like, well, maybe the high road, actually, because fuck you and your goddamn boat, bitch.
Yeah, fuck you and your boats and my seasickness, bitch.
I just goddamn nearly died on the boat too. Like, pick your evils.
Yeah. The lesser of two evils. At least either way, if he dies, one, he gets eaten by shadow cats. The other one, he gets eaten by fish.
Krakens.
Well, no, I'm not talking about them being attacked. Like, I'm literally mean like he dies on the boat and they throw him overboard and he gets a burial at sea and he gets eaten by fish.
He gets eaten by krakens.
Or krakens, if they exist.
When dragons exist, why wouldn't a kraken?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No one's ever seen one?
No one saw a dragon either.
Bigfoot.
No one alive has ever seen a dragon. Except for Dany.
In her dream?
In her dream.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not a real dragon yet.
That's not true. People alive have seen dragons. They've seen the skulls of them, and that itself is a dragon.
I can make a skull.
Right.
Yeah,
nobody alive has seen a dragon alive.
Okay. See? Thank you. You took out my loophole.
We have to be absolutely technical on every syllable, or else Widow's going to be a bitch about it.
Indeed.
I was going to say, how else is she going to understand what the fuck we're saying?
Exactly. Yeah. I need a piece that's got to be spelled out for me. I'm sorry. Talk about water.
I can't deal with having to think about things. You have to tell me exactly.
I can deal with having to think about things, but then I start taking them too far. As soon as there's loopholes...
You do take them too far.
Yeah, as soon as there's loopholes, I take those loopholes, and then it goes too far.
No loopholes.
See? You gotta take my loopholes away.
Yeah, no loopholes.
I love loopholes. And plot holes. And potholes.
Plot holes? You mean like the Hobbit's not riding the eagles?
We're not going to get into that right now because it can be so... That. Oh my god. They couldn't take the eagles.
Yes, they could.
Let's not... No! You said yourself we're not getting into this right now, so don't.
I will say this.
I
don't think it's a problem in The Lord of the Rings. I think it's a problem in The Hobbit.
And you guys can argue about that later or agree about it later. And
we should just have like a short segment afterward of us just debating that.
No!
I said after.
She did say after.
I said after.
I know, but she's going to keep talking about it until someone changes the subject. So I'm changing the subject.
Okay, so Catelyn is headed to see Lysa.
I don't know why she'd want to do that.
On the morning of the trial by combat.
On the morrow of the combat.
She's trying to...
Is that the name of the... Like, is morrow just a word for morning?
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
On the morrow is tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's such a pretty sky for such a bad day for Catelyn.
Yes, it is.
Do we need a weather report?
I mean, it's cold.
I mean, it's mostly inside, though. I mean, like, it's nice blue sky when she wakes up and looks out the window, but it's all inside after that.
Really? Because the first sentence says the sky was rose and gold.
Yeah, no, but like, it's,
a pretty blue rose
she's, like,
and gold
outside.
sky.
Yeah, right?
And then they're inside for the rest of the fight. I'm saying, they're inside for the rest of the fight.
No, that's fine, but you said blue sky and the book says rose and gold.
Oh, whatever.
Once again, we have caught Widow Wolfsbane in just throwing out random bullshit.
I mean, I'm sure it's a blue sky after the fucking sunrise.
Well,
Isn't
the sky
it
was
normally?
rose and gold. Doesn't sound blue to me.
Yeah, and that's because it's the sunrise. And then after the sunrise, when the sun goes up to the peak where it starts turning blue, we have blue sky.
Now, to be fair, to get rose and gold sky, you generally have to have clouds in it, because those are the things that get colored rose and gold.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. I'm calling shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly. We're calling shenanigans, exactly.
I'm calling shenanigans on your science.
All right, so what does Catelyn want to do?
I have a quick question first before we get to her and Lysa.
Mm-hmm.
Does the tale of Alyssa have any importance to anything in the story?
It possibly could have like metaphorical ties
to
things that happen. Yes.
I think it's really cool though that the waterfall is so high up that the water never touches the bottom of the valley.
Right, and never will until Alyssa
is
her family was killed.
Yeah, she watched her whole family die.
And she didn't cry.
No.
So the gods punished her by saying that basically...
she was going to cry for all eternity.
Right, but never would a tear fall onto the valley.
Yeah.
Which is why the waterfall, Alyssa's tears, doesn't reach the floor.
The water just...
and that she would be left to rest in peace finally when the waterfall actually touched the floor of the valley.
I do want to know where the water comes from, though. Is it like a spring in the
I would assume
somewhere?
Yeah, I would assume like either a spring or snow melt.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of running water in mountains usually.
I know, but the way these mountains are... I always imagine these mountains as not like actual mountains, but like these little tiny peaks with the giant castles on them. Like really cartoonish style mountains.
Oh, okay.
They're impossible to actually exist. I said, they make me think of the tower in The Sword in the Stone.
Gotcha.
So I just imagine the mountain being just as rickety as the castle.
See, I think more. It seems like the Rockies to me.
Yeah. No,
Right.
they probably are, but they just seem really thin to me.
I don't know why, but I don't know if it's because Lysa's at the top of this mountain, but I think of it as, like, a night on Bald Mountain where, like, the demon's gonna come out from behind the mountain, like, the demon, like, opens its wings and the demon is the top of the mountain.
Yeah, it's not that tiny of a mountain.
You haven't seen The Night on Bald Mountain? It's the musical part.
He has no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my god. It's not a Balrog, because the Balrog's the other thing.
I know what a Balrog is. Okay, so the first thing that happens is Catelyn talks to Sir Roderick.
Yes.
And there has been a raven in the night
Mm-hmm.
saying that Jaime Lannister is at Casterly Rock amassing a host.
Meaning he's gathering an army.
He's collecting an army.
Yep, gathering people.
To go and destroy
the Vale.
Oh, the Vale. I was waiting for you to drop another Lord of the Rings reference.
Oh.
It's an army bred for the destruction of men.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Not all men.
And that Edmure is intending to send riders to Casterly Rock to have Tywin declare his intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And Catelyn's like, Edmure?
What about my
something?
father?
Yeah, something must really be wrong if my dad's trusting Edmure with the defense of River Run.
Well, isn't her dad really sick?
She doesn't know that yet.
Oh,
no, she
knows
he's sick, but not
bedridden.
But she's like, he must be like damn near death's door if he's letting Edmure take care of this.
Doesn't at some point close to the Stowe is when, in the show she has to, she stopped, this is before she gets back to Winterfell when she stops on her way back to Winterfell? She never
makes it back to Winterfell.
Oh, that's right. But she goes back there and then they end up burying her father or something?
Yes. Well,
okay.
Viking funeral.
Yeah, Viking funeral. That Edmure damn near fucks the fuck up.
Yeah.
But 3 arrows later, and Brenda's like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
just shoots an arrow and walks the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And then it's like...
But yeah, so Catelyn apparently, who is useless, apparently also knows that Edmure is even more useless.
Yeah.
Because she's like, wow, something must really be wrong if Pops is letting Edmure handle the defenses. Oh shit.
Edmure can't handle the backside of a plastic bag.
Edmure couldn't keep fucking...
I don't think he knows what a plastic bag is.
Edmure couldn't sweep a stable with 10,000 brooms. He and Viserys have something in common.
Edmure couldn't keep a fucking musician from banging his chick.
That's true. Yeah, that's true too.
So, pretty sad.
Couldn't keep his chick from banging a musician.
Whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah. Either way, a musician banged the girlfriend of the Lord... or Lord's son of a castle, without worrying that the Lord's son was going to come after him. That's...
Okay.
Yeah.
We had enough examples.
No, but the guy wasn't afraid of him. The musician wasn't afraid of what would happen.
Yep, we got it.
Maybe he's a dumb musician.
Maybe.
Could be a little bit of both. Okay. Anyway.
So she's like, I should have been woken up with words like these, and Roger's like, well, she was going to tell you after the fight. And she's like, oh, she still intends to go through with it. So they head off. She wants to talk her out of hopefully having the fight.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
And they run into Brynden, Blackfish, and convince him. He's like, well, look, I already asked Lysa if I could take 1,000 men to go reinforce River Run and start a war with the Lannisters.
Literally told me I can't take a single person with me.
Yeah, the Vale can spare no guards whatsoever.
Will not spare a single guard.
Yep. They need all of them to get in, to keep people from getting into their mountain fortress, which is impenetrable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
everything to save that little 8-year-old boy stuck in his mom's tit.
Yep. So Catelyn's like, well, hey, me and Sir Roderick are gonna take a boat this morning. We're gonna head on over to Goldtown and take a boat.
Immediately after
she's
like, trial.
Well, they're planning before the trial.
Oh.
And so they're like, why don't you come with us? We'll go to Winterfell. I'll give you 1,000 men, and you can go do it with our men. And he's like, okay, sounds good. I'll meet you downstairs.
Yeah. I can't stay in this fucking castle anymore. I'll meet you down there.
He's like, it's the long way around, but at least I'll get there that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he heads off.
Which I think is the foreshadowing of the end of the chapter too. Like, well, reinforcement of the end of the chapter where she sends him out on or sends him out the Bloody Gate to go the high road. Tyrion.
No, she doesn't send him out that way. Lysa does.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
What he's saying is, if I go with you, at least I will get to River Run, whereas if I stay here, I'm not allowed to take any men to go.
Yeah, no, I think he was going to go anyway, but I think he wouldn't have gone by himself.
He wasn't going to go because he
wasn't
wasn't allowed to take any men.
Yeah. So
he's not going to go without an army.
Oh, so yeah.
That's the whole point. So the whole point is
to leave.
No, the whole point is to take an army.
Yeah, no, but I thought he was like Brendan was done with her shit and was also just going to leave the Vale too.
No, because the whole point was to take an army to go and defend the Vale, but do it by attacking the Lannisters.
Okay. I literally thought he was going to leave either way, with or without the army.
No, so when he says it's the long way around, but at least I'll get there, means that at least Catelyn's going to give him some men to go fight, whereas Lysa is not.
Yeah.
And he'll just be stuck there in the Vale, defending the Vale forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Instead of being out in the...
Right. So she's like, okay, fine. Yep. You go wait for us downstairs. We'll see you in a hot minute. I'm going to go try to talk Lysa's dumbass out of this stupid fucking trial by combat.
Yeah.
A mummer's farce.
A mummer's farce. Yep. And so she heads over to Lysa's apartments, and there's a crowd.
Already, yay! There's a whole crowd here already.
Yeah.
Overlooking the grounds where the combat will be fought. So it's Lysa and Robert, who's got two dolls, and he's making them fight because he's a grown boy, Lord of the Vale,
Lord Defender of the Vale, Lord of the Eyrie, and Defender of the Vale. You guys,
yep.
So brave.
What a powerful young man he is.
Although
the seed is strong.
Yeah, it is. Isn't Jaime technically Defender of the Vale, though, or no, the Warden of the Vale or something?
Well, he's the Warden of the East.
The Warden of the East. Okay.
Robert has named him the Warden of the East.
Okay, even though he's not actually
doesn't do him any good
East.
when he's fighting in the West.
It doesn't help with, it also doesn't help, like, how is he the fucking Defender of the East if he's actually over in the West at Castbox?
Well, he's the Warden of the East.
The Warden of the East.
Doesn't matter where he is. Basically what that means is he's the general of that army.
Okay.
Now, that army's not going to follow him because Lysa came back and was like, the Lannisters are our enemy.
The Lannisters killed your guys' lord,
right.
so they're not going to follow that.
Right. So basically it's like Robert can give him that title and name him that and say that he is that.
It's
but
not going to do him any good.
That's like sending Jaime out to be Warden of the North after Ned is beheaded and expecting the Northman army to follow Jaime. Right, exactly.
And not just fucking murder him and then do whatever they're going to do anyway.
Exactly. Not going to happen.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yep. So, and then there are several male suitors, high and low lords from the Vale and the Eyrie there to win Lysa's favor. Some old men, young men. Go ahead.
I don't know how any of them think they have a chance, other than the fact she's young and can still get pregnant. Supposedly,
I think that's all they want is that she's young.
Yeah,
she can still bear children at this point.
They want the Vale.
Yeah,
and that's the only way they can get it.
But the thing is, and it even says at one part, I don't remember. I don't think it was in this chapter. It was in Catelyn's last chapter that they just want to rule the Vale next to her, which means that they don't even get the primary role of being in charge, right?
Technically, they would be
the one that was in charge,
right? Because
which is why she's not
a woman can't rule
right? Because technically speaking, she can be in charge right now as like the like Cersei is like the regent to Joffrey type of thing. So she can be the regent.
Regent Lordess or whatever.
Well, she'd be the regent of the Vale.
Okay.
Over Robert until he's of age to rule.
So she's like a steward.
But if she were to marry, say, Littlefinger, then technically he's kind of the one with the power because he's the male.
Because he has a penis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he has a
society.
So that's why. And also I could see like one of them had married her and then young Robert had an accident.
Yeah.
After she had gotten pregnant.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well, what if her and like little Robert both died? Then what? Does he still get to keep the Vale?
That means that you get to become the protector of the Vale.
Ooh.
You get to be the guy.
Somebody fell out the moon door.
I mean, somebody does eventually fall out the moon door.
Yeah, but not
suicide.
Two of them.
Suicide.
No, not two of them. But so that makes Robert is still the Lord of the Vale.
Yeah, but if he had gone out the moon door too,
he needs a regent.
Yeah. But if he went out the moon door too, then whoever she had married would get to keep the veil.
It's a little harder to explain why Robert went out the moon door.
He was a sick little boy.
And he wanted to fly himself for once.
He wanted to be the flying
He was
knight.
a sick little boy, and he got delusional, and he went for a fly and never came back.
Oh, sucks to be him.
Yeah.
It'd be good. But, yeah.
I mean, it'd be better for the world.
Neither here nor there right now.
That's fair.
And it never will be.
So, Catelyn's like, Lysa, we need to talk. And Lysa's like, after the fight. And Catelyn's like, it's kind of the whole point right now. Like,
Yeah.
The whole point is to not let that happen. Like, you need to stop and listen to me.
Like, what happens if Bronn wins this fight? And the one knight there, the one lord there's like, please, as if that's going to happen. Sir Vardys is such a tough guy.
Yeah. Small chance of that, milady.
I like how she has to, like, bite her tongue, too. Like, while she's talking to this guy, she, like, after he's like, well, he's not a knight, so he's got nothing but fear in his heart. And as soon as it gets tough, he's gonna cut and run like a coward.
Right. Whereas Catelyn's like, maybe when she was younger, Catelyn would have agreed with that.
Yeah.
But now she's spent so much time in the north where nobody's a knight.
Yeah.
And yet they could probably beat most of the knights in the rest of the realm.
Well, that and she has
in
seen
fights.
Bronn fight.
Yeah, that
And
too.
she has,
and she's seen Bronn fight. Like, she probably would have believed that over in the tavern.
Right.
But after watching Bronn survive over to here, that's why she's like, whatever you say, sir.
Yeah, are you
And
sure about this?
Because he's such a good fighter that his sword is an extension of his arm.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Where-
she was talking about how the blade is so honed because he just sits there and sharpens it for hours a day.
Which is good foreshadowing for him, because when he's fighting Sir
Vardys.
Sir Vardys fights with Jon's sword.
Right. A new sword.
A brand new sword
used.
that Sir Vardys has never used, so he's clumsy with it.
Yeah, I think we got to talk about that sword when we get there because there's some questions and things that I want to say about that sword too.
Okay.
Aside from it just not being his.
Yeah.
And him not being used to it. I think there's other things that would make it hard for him to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree when I was reading the description of it.
Yeah. So she's like, all right, fine. I guess we're fucking doing this.
Yep.
Unfortunately, and to my great dismay.
Yep. So then we get the glass shatters and the ring music hits and the champions enter.
And then they're like, Monday.
Yep.
Can we talk about the garden real quick?
Sure.
This garden is on the side of the mountain, and it's got a statue of what they expected Alyssa to look like.
Yeah, it's got a statue of Alyssa.
But that's not originally what this garden was for.
No, it was intended to be a godswood.
Yes.
But they couldn't get a weirwood to grow.
No. Because
Oh, is that what you're getting into right now?
Yes, that is exactly what I'm getting into.
And why might a weirwood not be able to grow there?
Well, from the theory we have discussed, the weirwoods need the black water to survive.
Correct. I think the weirwoods need the black water.
And this high up the mountain, and especially in the Vale,
right,
there is no black water.
Correct. There's no black water that high up in the mountain.
Is there black water anywhere in the Vale that we know of?
Could be in the ground, like down in the valley
Down in the
floor,
valley,
but they're
maybe.
like 3 miles above that through sheer stone.
The only water up there is Alyssa's tears.
Right.
Okay.
So, like, for instance, there is an underground weirwood tree at Casterly Rock.
Okay.
Which is in a cave with, like, a rock floor.
Yep.
But it's, like, in a cave low to the ground. So it's not like on top of it, it's low to the ground where its roots could possibly get down to the black water.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, I think that the weirwoods need the black water. That's like their source of life.
Okay.
So I guess it's a good thing, since they serve the new gods, not the old gods.
Yeah, and so they could never get a weirwood to grow there.
Yeah, maybe that's why they changed their religion.
But they have a weirwood throne.
Yes.
They do.
And
it's made out of weirwood. Yep.
And the moon door is made out of weirwood. Now, which brings up an interesting thing, because later on, after his mother's death, in later books, Robert always talks about hearing the singer singing. But the singer's like all the way down in the dungeons where it's impossible to hear him. Now, we know that the souls of the singers of the songs of the earth, children of the forest, are forever trapped inside the weirwoods.
You think the chair is singing to him?
I think the chair is singing. The throne is singing to Robert.
To make him do what?
I don't know. To drive him crazy or something. I don't know.
To drive him crazy, because
like,
that's actually a pretty interesting theory.
Yeah.
Because would he have any type of, like, the old gods, they're like the old people's blood, like how the Starks have, like, the old blood in them that they
well,
can, like...
if his real father is Baelish, Littlefinger.
Oh.
Well, that would be from Bravos, not First Men or anything like that.
Exactly.
Okay,
and
so
Lysa's family serves the new gods.
Correct.
So there really isn't any weirwood.
Yeah, so he wouldn't have, like, a thing that would, like... He wouldn't have, like, a magical component of his blood like the Starks do that help them be able to work with the wolves.
Well, no, if Littlefinger is his actual father and
He's a green seer.
and his theory is correct about him being a green seer, then Little Robert would maybe have magic in him.
Yeah, and I say, because Littlefinger was always described as, like, a weak and whatever child, too, so...
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, which is the reason I think he's Robert's father. Also, the reason I think he's... at least has a green sight.
Okay.
So, which Little Robert would probably have a little bit of that.
Could have taken some of that from him.
Hear
maybe,
right, you can hear the singers inside the weirwood tree.
That's an interesting theory. I like that, though.
Yeah.
But that would mean that I would have to agree that Littlefinger's a green seer.
This might be a little late, but tinfoil alert.
This show's full of spoilers.
I know, but like we usually are like, all right, we're gonna get
the show is dark and full of spoilers.
Yes.
Yeah, but like we usually tell people like, all right, we're gonna get into some tinfoil here. No, we're gonna get into some tinfoil here, some conspiracy theories, and we just kind of went into that one without.
That's right.
Oh well.
You know.
What else do they expect? Anything more from us? Less from us?
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
All right, so then we come to our fight.
Yep.
Except we don't.
Oh, yeah.
Because the champions enter. Bronn's just wearing some mail
and a sword.
And some boiled leather and his sword and a half helm. Not even a full helmet, just a half helm.
And Tyrion's like sitting in the middle. Well, not in the middle because that's where the
on the other side.
The other side is on this elevated stand.
The dais.
So the thing that I think of, like how we're talking about how he's only got the half helm on, he's only wearing like the boiled mail, is it brings me back to the 300. Where Leonidas is, like, giving in, and he's gonna, like, bow down to Xerxes, so he, like, takes his helm off.
Right, because it blocked his vision.
Yeah, and, like, at the end, they're like, oh, and he took his helmet off, because it was blocking his vision, and he took his mail off, because it was too heavy and holding him down. Yeah. And then so he could kill Xerxes instead.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I thought of when I was reading this.
Yeah, and then...
I didn't see that, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
You ever saw 300?
No.
Oh, recommend it. Highly good.
Yeah, it's good. It's bad, but it's good.
And then that's not even bad. It's just good.
No, I mean like,
the
air brushed on abs and stuff like that. And
whatever. Who cares about that? I mean, like the story was good. The action was good.
All right.
I thought it was good.
It's also very comic booky kind of made too.
The prequel was also good.
Yes.
Anyways.
But yes, and then Sir Vardys comes out in full fucking regalia.
Yeah, like the only skin showing is around his eyes.
Yep.
And it's just like that little...
Full on plate armor.
Mm-hmm. Heavy
weighs like
armor.
7 trillion pounds.
Yep. Got a giant wood oak. He's got a fucking oak shield and it's like, heavy as shit.
And it's strapped to his arm.
Yep.
And he's literally wearing so much armor, even his armpits are covered, the backs of his knees are covered, his groin, his crotch is covered. I mean, it's clearly covered, but like,
he literally looks like
all
the
soft
statues
spots.
and like castles where they just had the statues lying in the walls. He looks like that.
All the soft spots are covered.
Yep. And he's got the lobster cloist things in his elbows.
A lot of good it's going to do him, though.
Covered.
Yeah. Yep. And
it's just tinfoil accordion style.
Lysa announces that he's going to be fighting with a very special sword, a large, ornate steel sword with a heavy golden pommel that she had made for Jon Arryn.
That was probably specifically made to be known that it was probably not going to be used in actual battle.
It was an ornamental sword. He wore it when he sat the Iron Throne in Robert's stead.
When it's ornamental, it's not.
Yeah, so it's an ornamental sword. It was like ice, right? So ice was too big to ever be used in combat. So it was just an ornamental sword. It wasn't used in combat ever.
Yeah.
It's just used to behead it.
It's just a family sword, quote unquote.
So he has this, this is the thing where Bronn's sword is the sword he knows. It's his sword.
Yep. It's like
and I'm sure Sir Vardys has a sword like that's his sword that he knows.
He practices that every day, and he's like, he flips it around and
exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
And then he has to use this sword, which is probably
bigger than his.
Bigger and heavier by a lot than his sword, because it's got the golden pommel, which is going to weigh a ton.
Yep.
And it's a bigger sword. And Lysa is very determined that he used Jon's own sword to slay
Which, this,
Tyrion's
I
champion.
have to say, I wish she was more like Arya. Yeah. Or she knows I wish she knew anything about fighting.
Right.
Because if she did, she let the man use his own fucking sword. Because her arrogance leads to his death.
Partially,
Yeah. And I feel like if he had said anything even...
He wouldn't.
I know, but like, I feel like, after she did, like, I wish that he would have said something to her too and be like, my lady, as much as I would love to honor Jon Arryn in this fashion, I feel that I would not honor him by dying and fighting and losing with a sword that I am unfamiliar with. Yeah. And that I have no training
But
with.
he wants to wed her so bad, he's willing to die for it.
Yeah.
So Vardys goes into battle ill-prepared.
Yes. Unfortunately.
Or perhaps over-prepared.
Overprepared
and
underarmed.
Over-armed. Over-armed, over-equipped.
Yeah.
And underskilled.
He's very skilled.
No, he's underskilled with this sword, though.
Oh, with this sword,
with this sword. He's underskilled.
Well, he's also skilled in straight-up man-to-man sword fighting.
Yeah, he's like
not using the tactics that Bronn's gonna bust out.
Yeah, no.
He's like, for all my Pokemon-loving fans, he's like when Ash got Charizard, but Ash didn't have enough gym badges to be able to control Charizard, so he'd be like, Charizard, fight that guy! And Charizard would go sit on a cliffside and just blow some fire and be like, fuck off, dude, I got no interest in listening to you. Like, this is what happened to this guy. He's got a fucking Charizard, he can't use it.
I don't understand the reference, but that's okay.
Whatever that was, okay. So...
You guys are not nerd enough for me sometimes.
Anyway.
You'll get over it.
Yeah.
Just not nerdy about Pokemons or whatever.
The Pokemans?
At least you said it right.
Yeah, so you said it right. That's your first problem. You said it right.
Oh.
Pokemon for the Pokemons.
Okay.
Uneducated swine we are.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it. I'm glad you did.
For the undomesticated equines.
Yes. Yes, that's it, exactly.
Yeah. There's a reference I get.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of our listeners understood that one.
Hopefully all of them. I wonder if Widow Wolfsbane got it. I didn't figure you did, even though you were laughing along with it. I'm so disappointed in you. I can always tell when she's fake agreeing with us.
Yeah.
Yes. Like right now.
Undomesticated equines cannot hold me back, yeah.
Is what Teal'c says in Stargate SG-1. Instead of wild horses, he goes, instead of saying wild horses couldn't drag me away, he goes, undomesticated equines couldn't drag me away. We're about to start the fight, and then we fall deep into Catelyn's memories.
Oh, yeah.
To another trial by combat.
It's like the countdown to the...
It wasn't even really a trial by combat,
No, it was
though.
a duel. It was a duel.
It was, I'm going to take my glove off and slap you with it and challenge you to a duel.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You kill my father. Prepare to die.
It's more like related.
We head back to River Run some years ago.
Oh, God.
When a young Peter Baelish...
We should say 16 years ago, now that Rob's 15.
Well, it was before that.
It was before that. Never mind. All right.
So where a young Tyre Baelish challenged Brandon Stark to a duel.
Yeah, he was like 13.
Lady Catelyn's hand.
13 or 14.
And it didn't work out well.
It did, and then I do remember seeing though, like, he wanted to, because he's fighting for his love for Cat. And so he asked her for a token of her love.
Right.
To wear.
And to be honest, Brandon Stark should have just been like, you can have the bitch.
He should have. He really should have, though. But, so he asks her for this token, and she's like, well, Brendan's my betrothed, so I'm going to give him my token of my embroidered trout shit.
Yeah. my big Billy Bass to hang on the wall.
Yeah, like... So she gives Brandon her thing.
It was a scarf.
Token. Yeah, her scarf with the trout on it that she embroidered herself.
Yep.
And
did it have a trout on it?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's their house symbol.
She had emblazoned it with the symbol of
their house. Yeah. So she gives it to Brendan, and she's like, "Oh, please,
don't kill him.
Don't kill him. Like if you bear me any type of love or whatever. And Brendan actually was, like, good about it. Like, Brendan was really good.
Oh, yeah, because he asked Littlefinger to, like, give
Yield.
up several times.
Yeah. She said
he kept yelling, yield.
They made it all the way down to the river, and she's like, and he yelled at yield multiple times the entire way down.
Yep. And then he wouldn't.
And he wouldn't. He just kept doing it. And Brandon's like, dude, I don't want to kill you. Just fucking give up already.
He finally splits him from stem to stern. Yeah. But lightly.
More or less. Lightly
from stem to stern.
Yeah. Just enough to knock him on his ass.
Yeah, enough to end the fight. Yeah, he gave him just the tip.
Just the tip.
This is the first time Brendan was ever nice and just gave him the tip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's probably because it was a dude.
I don't know. He died kind of young. Did he give anyone just the tip?
Oh, I'm sure he gave a couple people just the tip.
Several. Yeah.
Just the tip and some extra. If
you listen to patron Ben, he gave Ashara Dane the tip.
Oh, I heard that.
And that's how we got John.
Stop it.
So that fight's over with.
Yes.
And now we're back to the real fight where Bronn is dancing around and running away from Ser Vardys.
He's being all willy-nilly.
And the whole crowd's like, fight him, you craven, cowardly piece of
and
shit.
And Sir Roderick knows exactly what he's doing.
Sir Roderick's the only one
Catelyn both understand what's going on. And they're both like, oh yeah, he's smart. He's gonna, because of Ser Vardys' armor and heavy sword, he's gonna wear himself the fuck out.
Yeah. And Roderick, of course, is to state that out loud, and Catelyn's like, I'm not fucking stupid. And we're all like, but you are.
You are, and so's everybody else there, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, because they're biased. They're all biased.
Right. That's true, too. Because they know that Ser Vardys is a good fighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't think that they've ever seen somebody who fights like Bronn.
Probably not, because they don't get very many sellswords up in the Vale.
Like, there's a reason that the only fighter who made it all the way to the Vale with them was Bronn.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason why he's the only fighter who made it.
Yeah. His other, because his sellsword could have just went with him, but Bronn killed him in his sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't find that out till the next Tyrion chapter.
To the next Tyrion chapter when they're on their way home.
Yeah. And then Bronn told Catelyn he died of his injuries.
Yep.
Of course, yeah, sure. But he didn't need the competition for the monies.
No, he did not.
Yeah.
No need for it at all.
Yeah.
No.
So that's what we get is Bronn's kind of rope-a-doping Ser Vardys. That's what it's called. That's what Muhammad Ali used to do, is rope-a-dope.
Okay.
He would like jab and like get his opponents to like throw, like charge at him and throw punches and tire themselves out until he got to the point where he could just bam, knock them out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what Bronn's doing.
I like that term, rope-a-dope.
He's rope-a-doping Ser Vardys.
Yeah, he's literally making him chase him around the entire place, like hacking this sword that's like,
He's just putting dents on his opponent's armor.
Yeah. He's not even trying to hit him that hard. He's just doing it enough to be like, hey,
aggravate
I'm close enough.
Yep.
I'm close enough, come get me. And then dance away.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then as we near the end of the fight, somebody jumps in on Bronn's side, on Tyrion's side, and assists.
The statue.
The statue of Alyssa.
Alyssa's like, oh, hey, I got you.
The angels are speaking for the gods.
The gods are speaking, and Alyssa jumps in on Tyrion's side and collapses on top of Ser Vardys.
Yep.
With some help of Bronn.
With some assistance.
But if the gods didn't think it true, then
she would have fell a different way.
She wouldn't have fallen at all.
Yep.
And so it pins Ser Vardys down.
Yep.
And
he already had a broken arm at this point, right?
Yeah,
he had slashed him across the elbow.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
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 So the fight wasn't going his way.
It wasn't going his way from before he even got on the ground.
Yeah, the moment he walked in the room, he was dressed.
He's dressed in an extra 70 pounds of metal, and the ground's not even level.
Yeah.
So they're on a crooked garden on the side of a mountain. I'm surprised he didn't go flying off the side.
Yeah. Like Catelyn has stacked everything against the Stark family, Lysa has stacked everything against poor Ser Vardys.
Yes.
This is true. Yeah, seriously. Seriously.
For some reason.
But it's just a spectacle. They're just sitting there eating grapes, drinking wine.
Yeah, well, because they literally expect Ser Vardys to just win this easily.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they're going to go on their merry way after they kill Tyrion.
Yeah, I think that Lysa has no thoughts whatsoever that Bronn is actually going to win this fight.
No.
Not until he actually wins.
Yeah, I don't think that even crosses her mind until that statue falls.
Because he's a low-bred piece of trash. Why would he have any chance of winning?
Right.
Yep.
Like, how could he beat a Knight of the Vale?
How could a guy who's been fighting his entire life just to survive beat a guy who was bred into not having to fight for anything and just kind of fights because he was told to every once in a while?
Because he chose to.
That's the thing about people that fight for their lives. They fight dirty.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, though. He was told to fight with a set of rules.
Yep.
And they expect him to fight a guy that has no rules that needs to survive.
Right, which is why in the TV show, Lysa goes, "You have no honor."
Yeah. And he goes, well, they're all... He goes, that's right. He's like, I don't need... Yeah, he
had plenty of honor.
He had honor.
And look what happened to him.
Exactly. Yeah. He had honor. Look what happened. I'm alive. I don't need your honor.
So, Bronn steps up, and the fight is not over till a man is dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, which, I mean, he could have yielded.
He could have.
Or Lysa could have called it.
Yeah, Lysa could have
called it. And said, fine, it's done. Tyrion wins, whatever. But no, she wouldn't.
She was really hoping that somehow, after with a broken arm and with like all these cuts and bruises, he was just going to lift that whole statue off
the statue and throw it at Bronn or something.
And he would just kind of fall out the moon door and it would be fine.
Yeah, exactly. So Bronn's like, fine, whatever. Steps up and just right through the armpit, through the chest and the heart.
Yep.
Did we mention that Jon Arryn's sword snapped in half?
Oh,
we did not mention that yet. He went and he hit it against the statue by accident.
He just caught it in a curve in the marble, and it just bent and snapped.
Yeah, because it's an ornate sword. It was not meant to be used.
Yeah, it was never used in battle. Like she should have given him Jon Arryn's battle sword,
and it was probably weak steel if it was ornate.
Because it wasn't. Like they didn't make because he only like the chapter says. He only wore it when he sat the Iron Throne in Robert's stead. And so it's there for decoration.
Yeah, and the comparison we made between ice and that sword of them both being ornate, ice is made out of Valyrian steel.
At least ice is steel, a sword that if you went to the mountain, you could still use it in battle.
Yeah, because it's a Valyrian steel sword.
Right.
So it's
but now it's only used to cut heads off.
Yes.
Yeah, but this other one's not Valyrian steel.
No,
it's not any type of fancy
much shorter.
It is fancy. That's the problem.
Well, it's fancy.
That's all it is fancy.
But the metal's not fancy. Like the sword blade is not fancy.
Sword.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just a fancy plain sword.
Yeah.
And you hang it on your wall.
Yeah. She should have let him use. Well, now it would be Robert Arryn's battle sword.
Yeah.
That's what they should have let him.
Was she even smart enough to bring that back from King's Landing?
He was probably buried with it.
He was
probably, yeah.
That's true. He probably would have been buried with it.
Yeah. Which, by the way, bury him with the ornate one and keep the actual good sword.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Because the ornate one's not going to do you any good while you're still living.
Yeah, the Starks don't bury the Lords of Winterfell with ice. They bury them with their actual battle swords.
Yeah. And then if someone goes and becomes a grave digger and digs up his body, like, that motherfucker had a fancy sword. I'm taking it, but he had a fancy sword.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yep. So yeah. So Ser Vardys is, I mean, he's fucked from the very beginning.
Yeah.
He's no chance whatsoever. Especially against somebody like Bronn.
That's what the Tully pride gets you. The Tully pride stacks everything against yourself and then expects you still to win.
Yeah.
Everyone in the Vale is just too cocky for this thing.
Yeah. Well, it's because they don't actually have to fight people ever. They just get to, fucking throw rocks at them from afar and be like, you can't get me!
Well, because there's going to be a war and Lysa refuses to send troops out.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, Monty Python.
Yeah, the French knights.
Yeah.
You singly Irish canigans!
Yeah.
I fought in your general direction.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberry. My brother had to explain that insult to me, by the way. That your mother is a hamster and your father smells of elderberry is that your mother's a whore.
Maester had to explain it to me.
Yeah, and that your father, elderberry wine was the big thing. Yeah, your father smells like a drunk.
Your father's the town drunk,
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's actually, I thought it was just like nonsense that they were saying, and my brother's like, no, that's actually insulting. I'm like, what?
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
I feel like we forgot something important of further back before the fight, now that poor Vardys is dead.
What's that?
They were talking about sending...
Who's they?
So it was before the fight, after they talked to Lysa.
I think I know where you're getting
here.
Yeah.
We skipped over completely that Maester Coleman had stumbled in upon Catelyn and Roderick.
She made a discovery.
Yeah, she made the discovery. They're like, oh, well, like, you know, they should have sent the boy away. And the Maester's like, oh, well, they were planning to send him to Dragonstone.
Yeah, like John Aaron agreed with you.
Yeah, John Aaron was right. He was going to send him to Dragonstone. And she goes, no, he was going to be sent to Casterly Rock. And she, like, disagreed and blah, blah. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, lady. But John Aaron was going to send him to Dragonstone with Stannis.
Well, Catelyn believes that the whole, like, him being sent away only came about after John's death.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the important part. It should be a clue to Catelyn
that she's not allowed to.
John was going to send Robert away
without his mother's knowledge.
Well, no, with his mother's knowledge.
Oh, but he was making the plans without her knowing.
No, he was making the plans and she knew. That's what the whole point of this is. That's the reason, right? It's motive for her to kill her husband.
Okay. Because I was thinking that he was going to do this in secret because he knew that she wasn't going to let it happen and that she found out, which is why she killed him.
No, she just couldn't say no because he's the hand of the king and the Lord of the Vale.
He was going to take her baby and send him away.
To Stannis at Dragonstone.
Needs to be taken the fuck away.
You're right.
It really does.
So then why did she change the story and say he was going to Casterly Rock?
Well, because after John Aaron's death, Robert did decide that he was going to send Robert to Casterly Rock.
King Robert.
So that's the only part of it that Catelyn knew.
Okay.
She didn't know that John Aaron was already planning to send Robert to Stannis at Dragonstone.
Okay.
Which would have been significantly closer to home than Casterly Rock, so she should have just been okay with that.
But her baby was being taken away.
Right.
Yeah.
Which gives Lysa motive to be in cahoots and a plot afoot.
Yeah.
With Littlefinger to kill John Aaron.
Oh my goodness. Running amok.
It's a foul platypus.
It is a foul platypus that she did here. Yeah, so but I was like, wait a minute, I think we just went right the fuck over that.
Yeah, that is a key piece of knowledge that Catelyn learns and does nothing with.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. She goes, wait a minute. So they were going to take her son away, and all this stuff happened. Oh, look, there's a flower over there. It's really pretty, you guys.
Yeah, let's go look at these flowers.
Well, that's nice. Peace. We're out of here. See you later.
All right, never mind. Not going to send Ned a note saying that anything
I love the fact, though, that while she's sitting there watching the fight with her sister, her uncle's still down waiting for her.
Yeah, her uncle's waiting
for her. He's sitting down there, like, tapping his watch, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on?
He's like, yeah, I was waiting for you,
he's exit stage left, never to be seen till the next, till the next
3 books
scene.
later.
Yeah. That's because he got sick and tired of waiting for her shit, so he just probably fucking left.
Yep.
He's like, I'll meet them at the boat.
It's cut scene and shows up.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll meet them at the boat. It's fine.
Does he end up
at River Run? Yes.
Okay.
So
last scene at River Run.
Okay.
I have a random also aside that I forgot to mention too while we were.
Is it an aside related to the book, or is it just an aside?
No, it's related to the book. It's highlighted in my book here.
Okay.
I like when they're going through the people who are there to court Lysa.
Yes.
And that they're going through. I think the last person that they mention is a known sword swallower because he is notoriously uninterested in the intimate charms of women. And I was just don't know why.
Oh, you think he's gay?
Yeah.
That's what that means.
That's what that means. That
I'm interested in the charms of women.
Oh, I thought it was just that, he's, if he wants to have sex, he's gonna fuck her and leave. He's
no, it means that
he's actually gay?
It means that he is gay as a $2 bill.
Oh, I did not know that!
Because it was whispered.
I have a $2 bill in my car.
But it was whispered that, he's notoriously uninterested in women. So he's the first sword swallower
I did not read it
That's why
that way.
It says notoriously.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's hilarious.
I just thought that was funny.
But his daddy's probably telling him he's got to get married or he's going to lose the inheritance.
He's also there. It's
expected to.
Yeah, and he's down in the south where they follow the faith of the seven, and that's an abomination down there. So he has to have a cover
everywhere. To be honest.
Oh well, maybe he needs to meet up with Renly and the flower night.
Renly and
Night of Flowers. I know it's in the
show. But that's why I got excited that we had our first sword swallow here because we don't know that happens.
We don't know if the other two are gay in the books.
Well, no, but we know we're going to get Oberyn later on.
That's true too.
Yeah, but he's not
that's
gay.
A while from now.
He's bi.
Well, yeah,
he's just fabulous.
He just tried.
He'll try anything.
Yeah.
So I got super excited about that.
Okay. Yeah, they're a lot more open in Dorne.
Yes, okay. Mm-hmm. Gayness discovered.
Yay!
And then Sir Vardys dies.
Again.
Swallows a sword with his chest.
Ooh.
I thought right through the ribcage, through the chest, yes.
And he's dead.
Yep.
That's enough.
And so little Robert is like, yay! Battle over! Can I make the little man fly now?
Yes.
And Tyrion's like, not this little man. This little man is going the fuck home.
He's like, bye, y'all.
I'm going down to the turnip hoist.
And Lysa's like, Lannister, you presume, as if to tell him, you think you fucking leave?
Yeah, you think you're gonna...
What? And he's like, I presume that you, Lady Aaron, understand the house words of Aaron, higher than honor.
As high as
honor. And that you will honor the fact that I won this fucking trial by combat, you dumb cunt.
Yeah.
To which she's like, well, fuck.
Well, yeah, because now she can't give her little boy what he wants to make the little man fly.
Yeah, and she had promised him that.
Yep.
So,
and she also knows she's been beat, right? Now,
yes.
Now, like, their hand's been played.
Yep.
The Lannisters have been proven innocent.
Yes.
Yep.
And now he gets to go free and tell his father and his brother and the king how badly he was mistreated at the hands of the Aarons in the Vale.
Yes. And that on
they're in some
multiple
big trouble.
Yeah,
yes, but in order for him to do that, how are they getting home?
Well, she's like, well, fine. So take him down, escort him to the Bloodgate, and then give them enough provisions to make it to the Trident River on the high road, which is the road that they came in on.
Yes.
Where they can be attacked, just the two of them, by the mountain tribes.
So it's a whole nother death sentence.
So Catelyn realizes it's a whole nother death sentence.
Yes.
To which she should be like, listen, you really gotta escort him out of there because like if he dies even on his way home, like they're gonna fucking blame us for that.
Yeah, they are.
Yep, and she does not want to be there when that happens.
No, she's like, peace.
She's like, listen, I already fucked up my part in this. I brought him to you instead of doing the right thing and leaving him the fuck alone.
You know what? The only thing Catelyn is gonna feel guilty about is the fact that Tyrion won.
Yeah, and that he got away.
She's not gonna feel guilty about, kidnapping him, taking him there, having all those men die for nothing.
Yeah.
She's gonna feel guilty that she lost her
prisoner.
She lost her prisoner. Yeah. Not that she wrongly accused the wrong person
of
crimes he didn't commit.
The person who actually committed those crimes.
Yes. Yeah. But is just upset that Tyrion's gone now.
Yep.
Because he's the imp. And he should obviously be, he's got the wrongdoing of everything.
So Lysa's like, take him and his creature, meaning Bronn.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And get them the fuck out of my sight.
Pretty much.
Oh, Jesus.
I like how Tyrion's just
That's
like...
with a K.
Yeah.
Creature the house elf.
Yeah, with a K.
Yeah.
Creature with a K.
Yeah.
But I like how you got that reference, though.
Yeah.
I got it.
Tyrion's like, don't worry. We know the way. You can fuck right the fuck off.
Well, but he does it with fake courteousness. Oh,
yes.
Thank you, milady.
Yeah.
We know the way.
Yeah.
Him and his big mouth.
Yep.
Yeah. Not how he got into the situation at all.
No, he got into the situation because Catelyn's a fucking cunt.
He didn't get into the situation because
he didn't
of
get
his
himself
mouth.
into the situation. He was
he
was nice to the Starks every turn of the way.
Yeah. Even in the end when she kidnapped him.
He was still courteous and went along. And even followed along when he was free and had a weapon. Still continued to follow along.
I'm surprised he didn't try to tell Bronn at that point, be like, listen,
hey, let's just me and you go back.
Let's just me and you, like, we'll just, cause they were behind Catelyn and Roderick. I'm sort of like, why don't we just very quietly, trail back here and then gallop right the fuck the other way?
Yeah, well, because Marillion would have said something.
Yeah, that and Bronn.
Well, they could just cut Marillion's throat real fast and then leave.
Tyrion didn't offer Bronn any money at that point.
I'm sure if he just said, hey, I got some gold in my bag, you want to bounce out this way?
Yeah,
I'm sure
Bronn,
sure.
Bronn would like, fuck yeah. Yeah, Marillion would have made it like a scuff about it, but Bronn could have just easily gone. And then they could have taken the horse with him as like bait or whatever to or food even.
Yeah,
I don't know, Marillion's horse.
Didn't, so.
But they didn't.
They really didn't.
Nope. But so now Tyrion is free on his way.
Mm-hmm.
About to be killed in the Mountains of the Moon.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, he knows they're coming for him.
Yep. And so
that's
where we leave off.
Yeah.
Catelyn has completely screwed the fucking pooch.
Screwed the pooch.
Yes.
Like 100%.
That poor pooch.
If her mission is to completely destroy Family Stark and do everything possible.
She's
to put them in a horrible position, she is well on her way to doing it.
She is at the most accomplished step one. Is put everybody in a compromising position.
Yeah, so fantastic for her. She is getting the job done.
We should actually do that. We should make and number the steps of which Catelyn takes to destroy the family. Step 1, put everyone in compromising position.
Well, no, I mean, we're well beyond step 1. Step 1, make sure Ned and his daughters go down to fucking King's Landing. They're surrounded by Lannisters.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, see? And then step 2.
And then step 2.
Step 2 is leave my injured son home alone.
No, step 2 is complain that Ned is now leaving to go down.
Yes. Complain that he's leaving his injured son after I just specifically told him to get the fuck out of here and go down there.
Yeah.
Step 3 is leave myself and start causing mischief and amok around the
step
thing.
3 is to kick Jon Snow out so that Robb has no good advisors.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so that's step 3. So then it's step 4, her leaving and running amok?
Must be her leaving.
Okay.
And almost killing Sir Roderick like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yep. Good God. I'm surprised Sir Roderick hasn't,
Step
just
5
been like,
is
fuck
banging
this.
Littlefinger while she's in King's Landing.
She did not. As much as I hate Catelyn, she did not.
Yeah, I don't think... she
That's
didn't even bang him with his
That's the
finger.
one thing.
That's the one thing she won't do.
She's repulsed about the thought of doing.
No, she's not.
I think she is.
You guys, you forget how, loftily she talked about him in her chapters.
Because
He's
she
like
loves him
a
like a family member.
brother.
She's not a Targaryen family member. Lysa is the one that loves him like a Targaryen family member.
Anyway, yes, and then more steps, and yes, eventually she gets the whole Stark family killed because she's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, Robb has a hand to do with it.
He does. I mean, he doesn't... I mean, he's a Tully. He's got red hair.
Yeah. Yep.
What are you gonna do?
And he's got Ned's intelligence.
Yeah. Which, I guess if you're rolling stats for a character, I would give it about a solid 7, maybe? That's enough to talk?
7.5.
Yeah, that's enough to talk and understand speech, but then it doesn't really give you a lot beyond that.
All right, so what is our next chapter?
It is Jon 5.
We're finally, mercifully, back to a Jon chapter.
And I'm gonna excite you a little bit more even.
Oh, I know.
After Jon's a Tyrion.
I know.
Yeah.
That's Tyrion and Bronn, the roadshow begins.
Oh, Billy.
But our Jon chapter is who gets to actually become a man of the Night's Watch.
Oh.
Well, they don't know what their job titles are.
Well, no, but who gets to become a man of the Night's Watch?
He gets to take his vows in front of the weirwood tree.
He didn't.
They don't take their
Take
vows in
their
that
vows
chapter.
yet.
That's like the next Jon
They
chapter.
just announced that they're going to be graduating and moving on to trade school.
Yeah, I mean, he talks Maester Aemon into taking Sam and not letting Sam stay in training to be killed by
everybody.
Sir Alistair.
Gotcha. See, okay, now I'm kind of sad because the show had me prepared in the absolute wrong way because they take their vows first and then go to their trade school.
Well, no, they don't start their trade school. They learn where they're going to go.
Yeah.
And then they get to decide if they want to stay or not. And then go take their vows.
Okay.
But they don't take their vows in this chapter.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. Because there's big to-dos in the chapter where they take their vows.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now I'm excited.
And there's important things that happen around that chapter that cause Jon to run and maybe almost not come back.
Oh, that's right.
He didn't run in this
don't
chapter.
say that.
No, not this chapter.
One, the one
in the
after.
later chapter after he takes his
okay.
vows.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, next chapter is a Jon chapter, Jon 5, and then after that, back to Tyrion 6.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Very nice.
We got good stuff coming up in the future.
Yeah, we do. We got some good shit happening.
We need a title for this
There was
chapter.
something
We
we
do.
said earlier that I liked, but I can't even think about it. Can we call it Fool's Festival?
Fool's Festival.
Mm.
See, I was thinking,
It's about,
when the fish flies.
Brendan was calling it a Fool's Festival.
I was thinking like when the fish flies because they literally hung themselves out to dry right now. Like they
Fly
literally-
fishing?
Fly fishing. That's not bad because the Tullys literally Catelyn
they
and
fucked
Son-
themselves
Yeah,
over.
they fucked themselves over. I like when the fish fly because they pretty much put themselves out the moon.
We should
door
call
on
it
this.
fly fishing.
Fly fishing.
What about fish fry?
The fish fry. That'd be good too because they fucking killed them. They
Just call it hashtag fish fry.
fish fry.
Hmm.
Tyrion's fish fry.
Tyrion's fish fry.
Because he fucking cooked those two.
It is. He did cook the fucking Tullys.
Yeah. I just don't like it.
Okay. What do you
Okay, that's fair. What do you?
I'm trying to think.
I don't really like the Fool's Festival because
That's
it's just
fine.
That one little piece of it.
Well, I think the whole thing's a farce. Mummer's farce. That's what I wanted to call it.
A Mummer's farce.
Mummer's farce.
Yeah, but they already call it that in the chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they already call it that.
I took it out of the chat.
I know. I don't like to call it things that they call it. You know what I mean?
What about Alyssa's aid? Because Alyssa helps Tyrion win.
The hand of God.
The hand of God.
What about trial by stupidity?
Because the whole thing was fucking stupid and pointless?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty true.
We could do that. I don't know, is that too long for you?
No, I've had longer ones. Like Tyrion First Blood Part 2.
That was a pretty long one.
Tyrion First Blood Part 3.
Tyrion First Blood Part 3. Tyrion Second Blood Part 1.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Although he didn't bleed anybody. So it would be Bronn First Blood Part 1.
Yeah.
No, because Bronn's killed people already.
Bronn's definitely people for years. Lots of people.
Well, even with just
he killed multiple people on the way here.
Yeah, I was going to say, he killed a bunch of people on the way here, so.
Yeah.
We could call it Bronn Needs a Whore, since he just won a battle.
Oh, that's true, because there's nothing better than sex after...
That's right.
After killing somebody, apparently.
Woman in wine, or mead, or whatever he drinks.
Blood, sweat, and whores.
Yep. Bronn Needs a Whore.
I don't really like
what if we named it something after John's blade?
Like what?
Ornaments get you killed.
That's funny, but no.
Ornate, but not for battle.
About the ass end of the sword.
The ass end of the sword. Point him with the stick him with the pointy end.
Stick him with the pointy end.
There is no pointy end.
This one isn't.
The sword is a lie.
The sword is a lie.
Because it breaks and it's a piece of shit.
I like that one.
What's that word where it looks really expensive and really intricate, but it's really just a cheap piece of shit?
Gilded.
No.
Gilded, I say gilded's pretty close because you gild stuff like in gold and stuff like that. It's like the copper and the nickel.
Yeah, like Jaime's armor is gilded steel, so it's steel that plated in gold.
Yeah. People think he's got straight gold armor.
But it's not really.
But it's not really gold. It's just gilded
because it'd be way too heavy.
It'd be way too heavy. And the worst part is gold isn't strong, it's malleable. So someone would hit him and it would just dent like within a second.
Yeah. I don't know, I thought there was another word for it, but maybe I'm thinking for the word that
I think you're thinking of ostentatious.
No.
Where it's a very
I was thinking of the word for like the stuff that they sell on the streets in New York City, the knockoffs.
Oh, that's just knockoff shit.
Almost Prada for next to nada.
Yeah, I like it! I love it!
Actually, I saw it on a billboard though when I was in New Jersey one time. It was for like the the outlet malls.
Mm-hmm. So can we
not? It was almost Prada for next to nada.
So can we not use it?
I don't want to use it because I actually know of a billboard that had it on
it. Yeah.
Well, that's perfect.
We could call it the Prada sword.
Yeah.
What about the nada sword?
Or the mummer's sword.
The mummer's sword.
You can bring back the mummer's farce, but call it the mummer's sword.
There you go.
I kind of like that one, the mummer's sword.
The mummer's sword?
Yeah. Because it's literally... I feel like if he just had his own sword in this, even with all that armor and shit to tie him out...
He'd have had more of a chance. He might not have lived.
It would have been equal. I think it would have been a little bit more equally matched if he just had his own sword.
Or even if he had Jon Arryn's battle sword.
Yeah.
An actual sword that was meant for fighting.
Yeah. He would have a significantly better chance than that piece of crap
we'll
sword.
Call it the mummer's sword.
The mummer's sword. I like it.
This chapter is the mummer's sword.
Yes.
Alright, so as we said, next chapter that will be coming out is Jon 5.
Jon 5.
Yep.
If you want to support the show like all of our cool Patreons, just hit us up at patreon.com/ironwood.
Got it.
If you want to find us on Twitter, I am at Maester Ironwood.
I am at Widow Wolfsbane.
And I am at Lady_Wyvern.
If you want to find us on YouTube, just search for Ice and Fire Pod or for the Ironwood Network on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Put the chapters up there on video.
We're on the Facebooks, the Ironwood Network.
.com.
For Facebook?
No, it's facebook.com/the Ironwood Network.
Yes.
And you can also visit our website where everything is located and linked to, which is iceandfirepod.com.
Yes, and you can find us on all sorts of social media platforms with hashtag Ice and Fire Pod.
Yeah, just go to Twitter and search Ice
You can just Google it.
Yeah, you can probably just Google Ice and Fire Pod at this point. We might have inundated it at this point.
Up.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we have the Instagrams that have not very much stuff on them. Ice and Fire Pod Instagram.
It's Instagram, so who cares?
Yeah, so, but Ice and Fire Pod on that too.
Until next time, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye, guys.